This meeting to order. So welcome everybody. I know we've got a lot of people, loved ones in attendance, supporting their newly elected family and other members, and we're glad you're here and excited to start this new chapter in our city. While I still have the floor, though, I do want to say that I really, to my friends on the council and my friends on the staff, it's been a great 4 years, and so I'll miss all of you. And it's been a lot of laughs, and I think we've done some good. So thank you for everything.
We're roping you into more. Don't think you're going anywhere.
Yeah, good luck with that. All right. So item 2, administration of the oath of office. Jody.
Lucy should have asked, do you guys want to all do it at one time? Do you want to do it separately? How would you like to do it?
Steve, what do you want to do?
Separate.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad you said that. Okay. Then you voted for all together?
I would have voted for all together.
Christmas, sorry.
He's vote first, and so I guess he's going to get his way. So we'll start with Mayor-elect Hilliard. And then I'm just going to go in alphabetical order so it doesn't seem like I'm doing one out of the other. I think that's the best way. So, all right. You ready?
Just do what you tell me to do.
As ready as you can be. Here's what you need to say in case you need a cheat sheet. I'm going to use this one. Thanks. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah. Let's get a picture of Whitney and you together.
Mayor Hilliard,
Oh,
you
we
want
can
to?
do that at the end. Oh, she
You
wants
want
to do that at the
end?
We can tackle that during the recess.
Okay, you want to do that?
We don't want to take a.
So Steve, you're next. So Councilmember Johns, I have to get used to that. Do you need a cheat sheet? There it is. I'm gonna use this one.
Repeat it first, or you want me to just say it?
You can repeat it after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and
the
defend
Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Thanks. Councilmember Lunt. You sure you want to do this?
Yeah, I guess.
You know what you're getting into.
I already know.
Could you please raise your right hand? I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations. We didn't bring extra pens, we should have.
I know.
And finally, Councilmember Roden. Well, we've got a lot of suits.
I was gonna say.
Been a little nervous with all these suits here.
Suit day today.
Got a jacket, Mayor?
Keep you warm on the way out.
All right, I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations. Well, thank you. I don't know who's conducting.
Went to me now.
It goes to you.
Well, thank you, everybody, for coming. We're going to move to a brief recess in a second, and then we will resume council meeting at 6:30. I just want to thank the mayor, Mayor Winder. Appreciate it. It's been a privilege. You as well, Doral. Thank you. I apologize. I'm extremely humbled for this responsibility and the trust that you have placed in each of us. We will do the best that we can to be able to continue the path forward that the mayor has paved and all of our previous administrations of this wonderful city. So thank you again, everybody. But we'll take a brief recess and we'll start again at 6:30.
Well, before you do that.
Yes.
You have to do the.
Please.
We
Also, pictures too.
Yeah, we gotta do
pictures.
His family's here to
I
be in the
apologize.
picture.
Can I turn this over to you?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So Dora will come on up.
Uh-oh.
Doral has been around as long as I have been around. No, I think you have.
Yeah, close. Fire chiefing.
Fire chiefing, he's been like a stable rock around here. It's gonna be sad to see him go, but I know he's not gonna go far. He has been serving on council since 2012. So that's 14 years. Twice a month, he's here. He's seen a lot of things.
It's more fun than it sounds.
But if you think of where we've come over the past 14 years, he has brought us through so much. And we just want to express our appreciation to him.
These are precious.
With a flag, and it flew above the city for about 30 seconds. Because I didn't want to get it dirty, but that is yours. And we want to appreciate, is Chris here?
She is not.
And we want to, we'll let you take this home for her then. So this is not a lot, but this is so you can take her to dinner.
Oh, wow, thank you.
It's not a bunch, but you've probably missed a lot of Tuesday night dinners and a lot of Thursday night dinners with fire. And so we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You can give that to her. Thank you.
All right. Move yet?
Yeah. Do you want to say anything?
No, it's
should.
just, I just appreciate this group. We've had a lot of different councils in the years, and I believe I've got to say how impressed I am of this one, and that people are willing to do this. I never could figure out why a mayor would want to be mayor, and I've seen a few. I've seen 4 or 5, and I appreciate, Brent, you a lot. You'll all have challenges. We've had challenges, and you've solved most all of them. So that's incredible. I love seeing this many people here. That ought to happen. I wish it would happen every council meeting, but good luck, Ben, and good luck, John, Steve, and Dan. I'll make up something for you. Anyway, I appreciate the opportunity. So thank you all for your support. You too.
Wow. Okay. First of all, thank you. Mayor Winder has saw us through some quite tumultuous times, and without him, we would be lost, I gotta say. He has helped us through some legal things. His legal background has talked us off many of, let me say, he's talked me off many ledges and been just that solid rock and foundation that we've needed during this time. So I want to express my appreciation. We are going to miss you, seeing you in the office, but we hope you will not be a stranger.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, is Monica here?
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Monica has been our, person who's always been here every Tuesday. We appreciate it. She supported it.
At the end, you get a gift card and some flowers.
But we want to give this to you and thank you. And this is your dinner and it's not Popeyes.
Is it Popeyes?
I'm sorry.
Branch out.
Yeah, branch out a little bit.
Thank you.
And we'll give you the floor if you want to say anything and.
Well, I
I'll
think
sit
that
down.
I said what I wanted to say, just how it's been a real pleasure working with all of you. And thanks for your commitment and our staff back there, former and current. So I just want to say thanks and I'll miss you. There are a lot of elements about this job that I won't miss, but I'll miss that. So thank you.
Perfect, then we will resume at 6:30.
If you want to organize, like, your people come first, then Steve's, then
We can
Dan's,
do whatever we
Janet's.
want. Did you want, what pictures do you want?
We're
Do
at
you want
recess. He's not in
current-
charge.
I want one of the, we need that for the
If we can
newsletter.
get one real quick of the 6 of us,
The current.
and then we'll shift it to the next 6, and then we can do family pictures, if that works for everybody.
Oh, okay, current and then new. Yeah, let's do that.
You don't want that to.
Jody's gonna take them. Yeah, I called her today, that's. Where are we gonna
Should
do
we
it?
move this out of the way? That's,
We can, I'm trying to
Jody's gonna
think.
stand. It'll be okay.
Jody, where do you want us?
Yeah, I am just the picture taker.
So I say, let's do this way and she can go right there. You go right there.
Slide these chairs out.
Kind of on a diagonal.
yeah, the flag in the background, that'd be nice. Since we have all of our pretty Woodland Hills pictures back there, we don't have any up
A
here.
man over here.
You can always just kick them all out the back row when it's there.
So how are we standing? Because we're not standing in a very good order.
I know, we're gonna do diagonals. Here, Carrie, and then Mayor. Ben, you're taller. You.
Carrie's got feeling on though, so we need Doral in front.
Yeah, Dora, look from the front.
I'm fine.
There.
And
Okay, you're good. Just turn around.
we can see Brian.
Yeah.
Hey, 1, 2, we can always crop it, 3.
No, we give all 6 of
Hey,
Okay, and then the new.
Dan, Steve?
Dan, Steve.
Oh, you could see it, you're good.
Trevor,
Come on in.
we're kind of doing a diagonal. I'm in front of everybody.
yeah, you're just not, you're throwing it off.
Two.
It's got 2 tops.
How about, let's put Steve
you
in
guys-
there, and then the bald guys are winging it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we might have a little shine.
They're
but, you
tall.
know,
We gotta figure it all out.
Hey, I think I got that.
Were you doing this?
Yeah, of course he
You
was.
better get ready. It's gonna be done. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Motion.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wonderful, well, we would like, to open the public hearing, if we can, you guys. the public hearing is the proposed change in zoning for 350 South Woodland Hills Drive from an R11 zone to an R119 zone. So if there's anybody who would like, they're welcome to come up and sit at the table here. And if we can keep it to around 2 minutes, that would be great. Yes, thank you. Please do state your name. Please.
My name is Floyd Cottam. Lived in this area for 20 years. Live right on Woodland Hills Drive across from this development. And I'm also speaking and some thoughts we had on that for Bill Shoemaker, who is down from he can't come tonight. I was here long enough to see what happened to Summit Ridge over here. 10 years ago, it started out, it was going to be little teeny townhouses along that whole street. Better taxes. Well, you see the development that has occurred. It has improved my house value significantly. A friend of mine is pretty high up in Sotheby's. He said, does anybody know what Summit Creek has done for Woodland Hills? So I'm concerned across the street now from our houses along Woodland Hills Drive there's going to be 14 houses built in the same spots that a friend of ours owned that property of about 10 acres. A street going through, coming right across from me. I'll see a street coming out now every time. Cars coming down 50 miles an hour for sure at times on Woodland Hills Drive. And you will have 14 houses, probably 2 cars each, going in and out every day, 2 places. Now, I just was wondering, what is the thinking behind, because there is an integrity to this place down below, and you know, all kinds of things are going on there, and you see what happens, apartments, etc. I'm thinking the value of house, what Woodland Hills means when you say those words down below, people think, oh, you know, is that, you know, sort of a stuck-up thing to do? A little bit, yes. I'm proud of this place. And I'm proud of the development. People have worked really hard all these years to do it. This, I don't think is acceptable. I have no problem along the street. Go to Summit Creek, there's Ridge. They have houses along the street. And I figured out yesterday or today, I went down and counted houses. How many would be on that street compared to ours? On the street, about the same. There'll be, I think it's 6 lots along there. They would be smaller than some, but they're a reasonable size for somebody that would want to build appropriate houses, as those would be to improve Woodland Hills. When you add in these 8 houses behind it, if you look at that, I'm looking at a plot plan now. I don't know if anybody's even seen what that's going to look like. It is just way congested. They're small places put together. It is not what we would be used to seeing here any place. And so that's it. We have such a great city. Our city councils over the years have been responsible. We were involved with trying to make that Summit Ridge happen and not turn into these other things, and they made a great move. Tax base, money. Now, end with this. Those houses over there, we know 2 people right now paying, they're paying $20,000 a year for the taxes. How many of these small houses that you see that would be built here are going to give you the 20? That adds up when you build houses like that, the same amount. Only the difference is you drive up Woodland Hills Drive and you're going to see something that we could be proud of. That's it. Thank you. I congratulate everybody that's new tonight. Welcome. This isn't the biggest issue in the world, and it's not just the people on the one side of the street, but you know, we'd appreciate at least if we really look at the integrity of what we wanted to do with this city. Okay?
Thank you.
Mark Silvine, again, resident here in town. Just one comment I wanted to bring, or question more than anything, as we start looking at, I'm not quite sure what the development size is gonna look like there. But one concern I hope has been addressed, I just want, one is what is the environmental issues with wastewater on these properties? What is that going to do to our ground situation? That's all I got to say.
Great, thank you.
Can I ask a question to Dr. Butler?
Please.
Garen Miller, so what did you guys say there was, how many acres are there in that area? And how many houses are you putting in there?
Oh, we're not gonna do anything.
Right now, what's the number they're proposing?
So
Yeah, the acreage is,
I don't know what the two combined.
with the two combined, right?
18 and a half, I think.
So it'll be 13 homes, 14 with the existing.
Okay, and how many acres total?
So there's.
It's like 13.
7.5.
Yeah.
7.5 acres?
Oh, for just the,
It's 16 acres total.
So it's,
The two properties.
it's two different developments that are working together to create what's being proposed here, but we're talking about the lower half of that
I mean,
development.
it does seem like it's a lot of houses and stuff, and we're actually to the opposite side of that or east of that. And while I think it needs to be developed, because it's just a hindrance and just a fire waiting to happen to burn down my house and stuff, and no one takes care of it at all, which that's another issue that I think needs to be fixed is how does someone maintain a property they're not living on while it's a hazard for everybody else living next to it? I mean, I feared when we had the fires, my house was gonna burn down because those guys don't care. It's just land, you know, that they don't own a house on. But I think going down Maple Drive and then turning north, you know, right on hills, that's gonna be a disaster turning right on there or coming back in, or if we're gonna be putting that many houses in. And you're right, whoever said driving 50 miles an hour, that's not an under exaggeration, going down Maple and Woodland Hills. My wife and I go on walks all the time and stuff on that area, and we have to really hook onto the dirt to almost people's property because we're almost getting ran over. So I think adding 14 more houses, and how many of us have one car? We have 2-3 cars per home. That's adding, what, 15, 30, 45 new cars that are gonna be driving down that road, just that section. I mean, realistically, 3 cars per house. So I think it needs to be cut a lot lower than that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Diana Sackett. You already know what I'm gonna say, because I speak every time, and I wish other people had spoken, you know, a few months ago. Because now we have 2 property owners willing to combine their efforts and make a development that is better than the first one that came. For those of you who didn't realize what was proposed first, this is much, much better. Am I for it? I'm absolutely not for it. I am not in favor of reducing lot sizes in an area that has animal rights and has forests that we name our city after, and yet we're cutting them down to build homes and roads. I know that state wants us to increase housing opportunities for people. There are federal statutes that allow for there to be differences based on topography. And I think we don't need to be fearful of the state because there are reasons to not put a ton of houses on a mountain. And we lived through that a few years ago. I oppose, however, it's better than the other one.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody online? Okay, then we will close the public hearing and we will move on to work session number 5. And this is where a lot of your questions potentially could get answered. Yes.
Can you hear me okay? This is
Yes,
Michael
Mike.
Meyer. I just had a couple of quick questions as I see these kinds of decisions being made. I'm curious what guidelines or rules or laws the council is following or using to decide whether or not to approve these types of changes. That's one question. And my second question is, has the city looked into what it's going to cost to maintain the additional infrastructure? What's that going to cost the city over time? So there's my two questions. If you could address those, that would be great.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, we'll close the public hearing now. So work session number 5, proposed change in zone to 350 South Woodland Hills Drive from the R1 to the R119. Do you guys have anything you'd like to address the body with?
Does Ted want to answer the question?
Okay.
Not right now. We can answer questions.
Ted, Wayne, whoever.
I just report to the council about the planning commission review of this. As you know, a number of months ago, the council approved 6 lots, new lots there. No, let me take that back. You got the picture around.
8 lots.
8 lots. And rezoned again to R119, which is the smallest zone that we have. But they committed at the time to not reduce their lot size from what was being proposed. This is an average then of 0.825 acres. So just less than an acre for those lot sizes there. Even though it's zoned R119, they've committed to that. And this group then that's joining with this other group of lots to form a subdivision, the average lot size will be 0.836. So again, a little bit less than an acre for those homes in there. And they've committed to, they've given us a concept of what this subdivision would look like. And that's the size that they're proposing for their lots in there. And on that basis then, and looking at it, the planning commission would recommend approval of this half of the subdivision. We didn't have any public input, and we opened it up, but we didn't have a public hearing as you had tonight for public comment. So I just wanted to share that information with the council. It potentially lessens the traffic along Woodland Hills Drive with 2 exits coming out with what otherwise might be with multiple lots along Woodland Hills Drive. So that will, I know it's going to be providing now 14 lots in there. And, but they will all have an entrance and exit at just 2 locations for all of those lots. We feel that they've done a good job in planning this subdivision. To Michael's question a little bit, these people will be paying for their own costs for water, and these lots aren't part of the sewer system, so there'll be septic systems that'll be servicing these lots. And they will have to develop and pay for the road and the infrastructure improvements that will be going into this subdivision, which is the way that the developer understands that and pays for that expense to service each of those homes in there. And things such as grading and water runoff, all that's taken into consideration by the engineers as the developer has engineers working with them, and as the city looks and reviews those engineers' work to make sure that it meets city standards and requirements that we have. So anyway, share that. I don't know if you have any questions about what the planning commission did.
Well, I just, maybe for any of the 3 of you, but I'm just wondering for the subdivision in the CCNRs, what's the square footage, what's the minimums? Because that's a concern as far as property values and things. What's the minimum size of home that will be built on these lots?
They'll probably range anywhere from a million. So the square footage comparable with what's in the area or above. We've had some major interest right now with home builders that they want to do custom homes in there.
Okay, and then what about the trees? Is there gonna be an effort to preserve as many of the trees as possible? Because I had a home built by me and they just clear cut it all and it made me so sad to see all the trees gone.
Yeah, we've only cut trees down on the right of way currently, and we have no intention to cut any more. That'll potentially be upon who builds the home on how much they cut. But as far as us, we will only do the roadway. That's the only thing that we're touching. And you can see that now, we've actually already grubbed it.
Okay. Those are my questions.
Any others?
Well, and just to clarify, this acreage that you told us about, although our 119 is the lowest that we have zoned, we have properties in Woodland Hills currently that are below the 8.25.
Yes.
And that's part, and we have other areas that have the homes coming out of one driveway, meaning one road, off of Woodland Hills Drive, several places. And there will be stop signs and all of the other things in place. So maybe part of the concern is just that as it comes down and people pick up speed, we may need to adjust there. If this is the real concern, maybe a traffic study or something. But the actual acreage site is probably comparable to some other places in town.
It is. In fact, it's larger than some and obviously smaller than some. But the smallest lot that we're looking at here for this rezone, I think, is 0.70 acres. So it's less than an acre, but and the setbacks are different for acre size lots versus the R119 size lots. The Summit Creek, for your information, is R119 zoned over there. And you can get a pretty good sized house on an R119, and these will be even larger than that. One concern we have too is that, and I think it's been mentioned, is that the state has a lot of concern over affordable housing. And the larger the lots are, the more those lots and homes cost. And so this is, we think, a consideration that our city is taking for affordable homes with smaller lots. And even though homes may be expensive, they won't be expensive as they would with a 1 or 2 acre lot. And so I know it's a challenge with younger families to come into a city, and if they just got 1+ acre lots, it gets very expensive and out of their pay range often. And this gives them a little bit of a break. And a lot that the city doesn't control that, the developer does, or a home builder. But these would be less, and they probably still not affordable housing, but it's less than what they otherwise would be if you've got one house being built on 5 acres or even 2 acres. So we took that into consideration as well as a means of maybe trying to make property and homes a little more affordable here.
So to elaborate on Mike's question, I think, what is the legal position of the city? Because obviously there's many residents who are not interested in seeing increased development density. So are we obligated to approve these types of requests?
No, it's entirely up to the city council. We don't have any restrictions on what you can approve and what you cannot approve. And we would filter that before these requests even come to us as a city. but there's nothing against this type of subdivision or lot size or anything. It all falls within our city ordinances that we have.
But it is according to ordinance. It's not just
Yes.
willy-nilly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so it is.
It's not a violation, it's just.
Everybody has to come to us within our current ordinance plan and to request this type of change.
Now, just by way of quick background, I know you're new here, but Summer Creek, when they were established, we didn't have an R119 zoning in the city. And they recommended it and suggested it and came to us with a project plan for all these homes. And there's provisions in the R119 to even have smaller, to have 4 townhomes, whatever you want to call them, in the small area. They've got one area there where they've got 4 homes in the smaller area that they've developed. But the developer came to us with this project and we felt it was a way of being able to move the city forward. And so you approved that new zoning for that area. And it's been used in other places, but we think it's controlled enough and you're giving your ideas and thoughts to that. And again, in this instance, the planning commission is recommending that zone be approved in this area here.
So what I'm hearing is, and what I perceive, let's put it that way, not what I'm hearing, but what I perceive is we're trying to go with the ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So the more we can do and move towards this state mandate of affordable housing, the more we can say this, we've done our part rather than having the state come in, which Carrie can tell you, there is lots of legislation about forcing us to not be able to make lot size or residential zones, right? And so we're saying we're giving this. I also, one of the things
Faith effort, I guess we call it.
Good, exactly. One of the things that originally, when we first looked at the first section of this, when we approved the zone changes, was the pullouts onto Woodland Hills Drive. So at one point, I mean, we talked about, we even moved the current house that's on Woodland Hills Drive to the new road, which actually is not beneficial necessarily for that house. So we're taking where we now are going to have 2 outlets onto Woodland Hills Drive. Instead of, if we look at this, and we could probably break this up into about 10 lots on Woodland Hills Drive that would have 10 entrances on Woodland Hills Drive. So we're getting 2 bigger road with a stop sign as opposed to 10 is the way that my mind looks at this new format. And so as I've looked at this is the things that I've looked at is we're trying to do what the state is telling us we have to do. If not, they're going to come in and do it for us. And we're also limiting that. We all know the ingress onto Woodland Hills Drive, especially when people are doing 50, right? Mm-hmm. We talk about that and people pulling out onto Woodland Hills Drive. I came up the road when the construction crews were right there, topped the hill and nearly hit them because they didn't have flaggers out. I can't tell you how many times I've had to hit my brakes coming up or down the hill as people are pulling out onto Woodland Hills Drive. So to me, this was a win-win in those 2 aspects of this.
Fantastic.
Can I ask one simple question?
Sure.
The roads are already being worked on. Yeah, what are we discussing this for?
Well,
That's been going on for months now.
so as property owners, you're able to, cut trees, do any of those types of things on your land. And so that's where they're operating under, is as property
It
owners.
happens to be where the road's going, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. They're optimistically planning. Yes, but that's the bounds to which
they're operating under
To
currently.
me, that was a move that was sort of like, where's the integrity of this?
Well, keep in mind, part of this has already been approved.
Yeah, we already
Yeah, we
approved part of
approved
it.
part of it.
That first half's already been approved.
It was approved a couple months, before the holidays, right? So like October, September.
Yes.
So my other question that I'm thinking is, you don't have to tell me who, but are these more custom home builders or somebody that mass produces? Because I really don't want someone that's a mass producing type builder building in Woodland Hills.
It'll be a custom home builder, but currently we don't have anybody lined up. We have interested parties, but they're all custom home builders.
Okay, I just don't want a bunch of homes that look the
Concern
same.
is with the one that starts with an A and then.
Yeah, I did ask that question already.
Yes, you did.
I know, but I just want to make sure.
I want to be the first to say, Mayor, I have a question for Ted.
Please.
So Ted, if you could come up.
Did Dan, do you have any?
Oh,
I do,
Dan,
I do.
I forgot Dan had his
That's
hand up.
okay, I'm new here.
I didn't see your.
That's okay.
You gotta jump in.
If you remember, I'm trying to not overspeed. A couple questions. So as I'm looking at the plot map. What is there, 5, 6, 7, 6 lots that are facing Woodland Hills? And I'm looking at Google Maps. This appears to be the only land of that size. There's one other lot type component on Woodland Hills Drive of this size. If I understand that. I have a couple of questions based on the way it's currently set. Number one is, I don't think anybody wants to drive down Woodland Hills Drive and look to the right, if this goes through, and see a bunch of backs of stucco homes, because they can't. That's me, but I assume a lot of people don't want to just see a bunch of stucco homes there. We have very strict fencing rules that cannot, obfuscate yards that are unkempt. There aren't a lot of trees really that front that part of the property. I'm just curious about fencing. Obviously, we see in Salem the way they handle that. Homes at the backs face a public drive. They get a big concrete wall there to keep sound and keep the visibility down. I'm sure we're not going to do that. So I have that question. The other component is whoever you get to build, they're going to do it as economically as possible, which usually means put the money up front and not in the back of the property. So I would be very concerned about those properties that face the back, face the home, that they aren't cracked stucco in 6 years. And then also, I had one other note here. Okay, I talked about the fencing, that's it. So just curious to know, I'm really interested in those lots. And I want to mention here, I've heard all of the commentary, and I understand all of it, I really do. I live in Thousand Oaks, 0.75 acres. I ruined the small meadow, I get it, I'm part of the problem. So I'm really not worried about the lot sizes or anything like that, but what I am, my primary concern is those homes that the back faces that property. It's a lot easier to beautify the front and the of a home and landscape. The backs, typically, that's where they cut all the costs, and we get 6 white stucco messes.
You'll have 5.
Five white.
Because there's one already existing that's facing front, so.
Okay. So 5. I'm just curious to see what, from your perspective, kind of, there's nothing we can do on the fencing side. We can't obfuscate anything. What are some of your thoughts there, just if you have any? I'm not holding your feet to the fire or anything.
This issue came up a year or so ago with some homes that Summer Creek wanted to develop. And we, in the process of when a person was ready to build, we restricted fences that would run along Summer Creek Drive. So, in fact, we required the front of the home to be on Summer Creek Drive, but the entrance would be on the back side coming into the home. And so we do restrict fences in front yards. So that was a requirement that the city set forth when it was time to develop, I shouldn't say develop, because those lots are already established, but when it came time for a homeowner, and with an understanding of Summit Creek, that those homes would not have fences that went along Summer Creek Drive. So those kinds of restrictions, the city can require with groups of homes and other restrictions as well. So.
And the reason and that would be something I'd be very interested to see what we can, we don't want to incur a lot of unnecessary expense, but that is prime drive, down there. Also, I know that when I built a home here, they made me color my plans. I literally with coloring was plans the night before I came and got our plans approved. And there were a whole bunch of restrictions on how much could be brick, stone, stucco on the front, et cetera. And we did everything we could. We were a young family, couldn't really afford to do it, but we did it just to respect the city ordinances. And then within 2 years, there's an all-white stucco home in one of the most beautiful lots in Woodland Hills. And I'm wondering how in the world did that get approved? So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is whatever we decide for the sake of our residents and for the sake of our council, I think we need to really be, this is prime lot. This is what everyone's gonna drive by daily, coming up and in and out of the city. It's one thing to have a lot that's tucked away somewhere and you kind of have a little bit more latitude, but I do want that to be taken into consideration whatever we do.
Okay.
And whatever we can exercise with the development, whatever code sets or CC, like CCNRs, I believe.
Yes.
Whatever CCNRs we can impose. We don't want to make it difficult to, enjoy this city like we've all moved here at some point, but we do want to protect what we do have, and it is a concern I have.
Okay, let me share just a little bit. The city does not enforce CCNRs.
Okay.
Those are between, usually in the subdivision, if they have any at all. So we can't enforce colors on homes.
Right, but
That's
can we require specific things in the CCNRs before approval to build?
At the HOA.
The HOA can, but we can't enforce CCNRs at all.
Okay, so we could have a black stucco home right there on Woodland.
Yeah,
We can enforce city code and building code.
So, but like 3 and 12 will probably face sideways, right? Because their front will go on the access road. So then, and then 2.
Yes, but in this was a case in Summit Creek. Their front was on the back, so to speak. So their back entrance is on, I'm not saying this correctly.
Sunny Ridge Lane.
Yeah, no, I get it, yes.
Yeah.
Front of their houses face Summit Creek Drive, but you can't access the house.
It's like the house with the pool, right? You drive in on the back.
So that we worked out with them. We worked that out with
Because I want the
Summit Creek to be able to do something like that, because they have interest in making their development look nice, and those are things we have to sit down with builders and just kind of work out with them. They're not specific actions we can enforce other than work it out with them and try to make it work.
But I think the points are well made.
Absolutely.
It's a good point.
Just concerns.
Because they have to look at the development overall is what we're doing right now, but when individual homes
No.
come into place.
So this
then
might
that
help
takes
actually.
extra.
So all we're looking at right now is the zoning. So we're not looking at the subdivision. We're not looking at a development agreement. Those will all come next if this is approved. So all we're looking at is the zoning, right?
Correct.
Right.
What about sewer then? Can't we look at our city codes to determine?
They are far enough away per our city code that
Right now.
sewer is not required.
Can we change that?
No, the county.
It's actually the state. The state is the one.
Yeah, it's the state.
So
Just a thought, it's a lot of income from. You did have already vet the county about the
I talked with.
septic and they're
I
okay
talked
with
with
the
the
city
Utah
now?
County Environmental Health Department and Drew Jorgensen or Drew Rasmussen and Cody is his name? Yeah, I've talked with him several times.
And they're okay potentially approving this many more septic.
They'll have to go through the same review
Right.
that everyone has to and be able to park, and if not, they'll have to do an alternate system. So.
It's our alternate systems. Okay, so my question then is for Ted. It was mentioned about fire issues. As fire chief, then what are your thoughts on as we lower lot sizes and with the new laws in place with our wildland interface ordinances and how that will impact our city overall, but also specifically these lots, they have a few trees, but not a lot of scrub oak. So as fire chief, how are you seeing this development? Do you see it as a hindrance or to help with regards to fire? They'll have to put in fire hydrants and everything along this road they're proposing. I don't know how many fire hydrants and other fire issues that you see potentially that they would have to mitigate as developers.
Well, it's similar to the rest of our city, right? We have a WUI mitigation code, and they would just have to comply with the WUI code, and that's clearing around the houses.
Maybe tell everybody what
stuff
WUI
like
means.
that. Oh, sorry, WUI is Wildland Urban Interface. So our community is a Wildland Urban Interface community, and we follow Wildland Urban Interface code. We have our own code, plus we've adopted the state's code. And with that, there are certain requirements for how you clear around your house. And these homes would be the same. They would have the same requirements that all the homes in Woodland Hills have. Our entire city falls under the WUI code. Whether you're here now at Four Seasons, which means you put fire sprinklers in your house, you clear all trees 10 feet around the house, 30 feet you have to have either cleared or sprinkled. You dead wood picked up, no grasses over 6 inches. That's all WUI code requirements that everybody follows. So these homes would be the same. They'd have to comply to the WUI code.
Okay.
And I don't know whether, adding homes, you can see it as we're taking away some of the wood that could spread, but also houses spread house to house. So it's hard to say whether it's good or bad.
And they would have
It's
to have
just-
fire hydrants every so many feet, right? Through this new street.
Correct, every 500 feet. Yeah.
Every 500 feet. My second question is, as Public Works or Community Development Director, now that we had to change your title, how much money do we get from the state for our roads? How much of our road budget comes from the state? Because that is one of the things that the state, as we talk about zoning issues, we don't want them to mandate zoning for us. They want the whole state to be 10 units per acre, 10 homes per acre. We don't want that. But the threat that comes, and it's a real threat, is that they would take away your road money. So how much money does our budget get with?
So that's so we get, maybe just further describe that. When you go get gas at the gas pump, you pay a tax on that gas. That tax money comes back to communities. And we can spend that money on roads, gas tax. It's called Class B and C road funds is what we get from that. And roughly we get a little over 100,000 a year from the state for Class B and C road funds. So by adding road to the city, we actually get every mile you add, you get so much more money from the state for these roads. So adding roads gives us a little more money, but obviously there's more, maintenance for the city as well as roads. And the maintenance question is kind of a hard one to answer because maintenance accrues over time, but you're also, part of the reason we collect property taxes is to maintain our infrastructure. So just like everyone else in the city, these guys will pay property tax and that money will be accrued over time to help maintain the roads and water lines that service them.
Okay. And then from public safety, we've already brought up several times the access to Woodland Hills Drive. Several have said it's safer to have just the 2 rather than 10 potential. Also, then are we requesting of the developers to do some sort of traffic study that would show the increase of traffic that might be there or helping us figure out how to slow people down? Because we can't put in the speed bumps, it ruins our plows.
Just makes it more fun.
Yeah. Plow drivers would love us if we put in speed bumps. They'd have all of our rights, but no, this, I know it seems like, so we got traffic that comes down Woodland Hills Drive, and a lot of our traffic does go faster than the speed limit going down Woodland Hills Drive. And we are going to have now 2 more roads entering into Woodland Hills Drive. From an engineering aspect, there's not enough traffic in our city to warrant a traffic study, so to speak. our time, even at the roundabout, they did a traffic study on our roundabout. Because for those who don't know, they're gonna be rebuilding that next year. And what's that?
This year.
Well, sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
2026. Yeah, they're gonna be rebuilding the roundabout. And even over time, in 30 years, the delay from the traffic added to the roundabout is only a few seconds. So we don't really have, relative to the need for a traffic study, the amount of traffic that we have in our city just wouldn't warrant a traffic study. Obviously, it's more of a safety aspect than the traffic volume. Just being careful, we have to check the what they call the vision distance. So when you're looking at cars, a stop sign, you're looking at how fast cars are coming down and how quickly they can brake to stop if someone pulls out traffic and stuff like that. It may be, we put an extra few street signs up there, caution, enter to traffic entering it, or something, caution signs to warn traffic. We're also talking about one right here because we get a lot of traffic coming down this hill that kind of speeds past our city center quite a bit. And we get a lot of emergency vehicles and stuff going out traffic here. So we're looking at a few of those areas to add some caution signs and.
What about some strobed, something that might be triggered as, for example, if I'm coming out of the development, motion sensor trigger flashing, something like essentially warning someone coming down Woodland Hills Drive that somebody's coming out of that development. I don't know if that's a possibility.
Maybe, I don't know that a traffic study would show a warrant, but it would be certainly something we could sign and look at.
Okay.
It's just even, 14 homes, but in the case of what we're talking about tonight, 6 more homes than the 8 that have already been approved, is not gonna really, dumping onto Woodland Hills Drive is not gonna add that much more volume to it.
What about the snow? I'm looking at this. If I'm a snowplow driver, which I'm never going to be skilled enough to be, but if I'm looking at this, that's a decent sized road. I have to put it in front of my plow. I'm not going to push it in anybody's circle because then they'll yell at you. So I'm going to have to push it out on the street, and then I'm going to have to push that somewhere all the way down. Have we looked at snow removal complexities of this?
Well, so what we're talking about tonight is the zone,
Sure.
right? So we're still reviewing plans.
Okay.
And those things will be taken into consideration.
Yep.
Looking at how we would plow these. This would be a lower priority plow street. So, Woodland Hills Drive is our, and Summit Creek, and those are our top priorities. And then this would be a lower priority street and maybe hit, those others are clear. But we just have to look at how that would work. Get more into the details.
I've got one more question. We are talking about on the general plan, a trail system running along that, right through that. Has that been considered in this development approval?
It is something we're talking to the developers about, yes.
Okay. And is that promising to take some burden off?
I think so. We haven't finished the discussions yet, but it's very minimal right away we need. Really minimal. And it's only along a portion of a few of the areas. So we're talking a few feet in a portion of the areas on.
Yeah, and I mean, in my experience, oftentimes developers will carry some of that and, exchange for some of that density exchange. So
that's what we're talking about.
Okay. So could potentially take some of the financial burden off the city if there ever was trail system put in there because we get a portion of it done.
We're still working through the plans and what's being planned and stuff like that. We haven't got through the plan approval or anything like that. This is kind of a more concept talks and so.
Okay, yeah, I just know that anytime we get this far and we approve the zoning, it's kind of like leverage is gone at that point. And if we haven't gotten an R119 building standard that requires that, they may just have to skate away. And I just want to make sure that that's not going to penalize the city.
There's still, as we talk about the subdivision design and everything, there's still a lot of give and take that goes on between the city and the developer with their plans and things like that. So.
Okay. Yeah, that would just be one of the things I'd like to see if we're gonna allow that, so.
Any other questions from any member of the council? Okay. Well, that was a fun one to start this whole process with. Thanks for making that fun, you guys. We'll move on to number 6, review of the October 2025 financials and check disbursements. Chris, anything from you on that?
Nothing different than what was sent on the email earlier, but I will, Carrie, just to finish answering your question, it's about 5% of our budget, which is Class C road funds, just so you can have that percentage there. The Dan and Steve, I apologize. I can send you out the latest financials that we're talking about. I did just send you both the audit, which we received a clean audit again this year from our independent auditors, and that has been filed with the State of Utah Department of Auditing. As far as the financials that we're discussing at this point, the biggest thing was we were able to pay or receive the invoices for the slurry seal and all the road work that was done in the late fall, and those have all been paid, which still leaves us over 30%, or excuse me, 70% of our budget just for road repairs this year, which we do have a lot of money being thrown at roads this year to try and take advantage of fuel prices and those kinds of things. So unless there's other specific questions, I don't have anything further.
Chris, I have, so on miscellaneous revenue, on 3690 miscellaneous revenue, you got 2.145 million.
Yes.
Is that a transfer from our savings for the road or to the general fund, or what is that 2 million?
Let me pull that up real quick. No, so that right now is just a holding place if and when the city goes and gets a loan for the roads, kind of what we've been talking about with Zion's Bank. So the transfer.
Okay, so we've already got 50,000 on it year to date, right? Of the 2 million.
I'll have to double check and see what that revenue is. That could be some other miscellaneous revenue that wasn't accounted for before. The revenue you're talking about from the capital projects is down a couple lines, and it's 1.4 million. And then let me look at that 50,000 right now real quick here.
Yeah, 1.5. Okay, there's that one. But yeah, we've got budgeted 2.145 in miscellaneous revenue, and we've already collected 50,000. I just kind of wondering where that's coming from. I don't remember.
I can look. 690. That is miscellaneous revenue. We received $3,300 for using our P cards last year. We received $13,000 for the trail feasibility study, $5,000 for management plan reimbursement, and some trail fee. So a lot of it deals with the trail feasibility study reimbursements that we got.
Okay. So, but why do we have budgeted 2 million? I don't remember that.
Well, so the loan amount that we're looking at potentially from Zion's Bank was about 2 million.
For the loan. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
Any other questions from the council?
Well, just on the check register, looks like we had a nice legal bill, 5,000, some change. Is that, I mean, how much are we typically paying a month or spending a month? Is that kind of average, or was that just a bigger bill that came in?
Let me get that here for you and tell you the past couple months, because it does fluctuate. And with the money running out with the insurance company, the city is going to have to start reaching into our own coffers more to pay the legal expenses. But 5,000 is pretty typical, but it will start increasing, I would suspect, greatly.
That was my question.
Wonderful. Anybody else?
Mayor, if it's okay with you, I've typically met with the new council members and just to go over the financials in a little more detail, and maybe I could find a time with Steve and Dan that would fit in their schedule, that we could go over in more detail.
That'd be fabulous. Would that work for you and Steve, Dan?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, we should have email accounts all set up for them as well, so you can reach out that way or text and call or whatever.
Okay, I'll do it. Thanks.
Okay, then we will move on to number 7. This is the really exciting part, right? Recommendations for city appointed positions. So I've gone through all of the different assignments. Can I just say I'm grateful that you guys are willing to help take a lot of this off of the executive side's plate. So thank you. So for Councilmember Hutchings, it is proposed that I request that you stay on with the Public Works Committee. Stay as the planning commission liaison. Also stay with SUV MWA. So that is for everybody else that's not familiar with these nasty acronyms. That's the South Utah Valley Municipal Water Association, and then also the Mount Nebo Water Agency. If anybody has any questions about any of these, feel free to just interrupt me. Councilmember Johns, the Citizen Fire or Wildfire Protection, so the CWPP, the Public Safety, and that is that Public Safety Officer? Is that how we've typically handled?
It would be the Public Safety Committee.
There's a committee.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, thank you. And then the UVHBA and the UHBA, and that is the Homeowners Building Association for Utah Valley as well as the state. And then for Councilmember Lunt, to retain, though it'll be split a little bit differently, as you'll see in a second, for events and volunteers, the liaison for the Finance Committee, to continue as our PIO or the Communications and Public Information Officer, as well as the liaison for Parks, Trails, and Recreation. For Councilmember Malkovich, the Community Development Committee liaison, continuing there to stay with the Utah Valley Animal Shelter as their board member there, to be our one of three actually appointees to the Utah League of Cities and Towns. And then also to assist, and as we discussed yesterday, to assist in keeping your eye out for any potential grant opportunities and pass those to where they most see fit there. And then for Councilmember Roden, to be our IT liaison, and then also to work and assist in events and volunteers, and kind of a merger of the two in, especially with marketing around those events and get the word out. As for non-council assignments, it is proposed that as our new emergency manager, I put forth the name of Aaron Gilbert. And then also as our board member to remain, also just because we can't really get rid of him, I've asked Doral Kinniston to stay on with the Central Utah 911 dispatch. Mostly just because he loves it so much.
And I like to call it too.
You do, and we'll have, and I'll keep you guys posted, and we'd like you guys to come in on occasion when it makes sense, or you call me to report in council meeting, please. Is there any questions? Am I missing any of those, Jody, that you could see there?
Ben, real quick, with the emergency manager, I believe it was Carrie recommended that we have some money put aside to pay the emergency manager. Is this taking that in, or are we doing that? Is it something?
So there is a stipend for that. And so, yes, and then there is still the emergency management budget as well, which I think is typically around
Yeah, but I'm just talking about the stipend because it is a big job.
And it does help. There are a few grants that are available when you have a paid EM that then now we qualify for, which will be exciting.
Which will fall, as Carrie will hopefully help us chase those types of things down. So, any other questions?
There's $500 for the EM manager right now.
Big money.
Hey, more than we get.
It's not bad. Wonderful. Okay, then we'll move on to number 9. We're going to have a snowplow update by our fearless leader, David Stones.
Yeah, fearless is it. I just close my eyes when I'm driving. So,
we've noticed.
See,
I don't know. I think he's been really doing well at keeping the snow away this year.
hey, I'm gonna start doing the snow dance out there. So if anybody sees me, just ignore it. I do want to call out very specifically somebody that Carrie knows.
Oh, really?
Okay. He has done a wonderful job. And I'll talk about that in a second, but just keep that thought. So we've had hardly any snow, so everybody knows, in case you guys didn't notice that. 7.5 inches, which is measured at mid-mountain, which is here. It's very scientific. It's a ruler, just so you know, Dan, just in case. And so we had our first plowing snowstorm a month and a half later than normal on November 30th. And we just recently had a little skiff, if you will, just the other day. So not much. So what I need you all to do is you need to do whatever magic you have and try to get a lot, because we normally have at mid-mountain 14 feet. Okay, we don't even have a foot yet. Most of it does come between now, by the way, and the end of March, just so there is hope. And since you guys are new council, Dan, it's coming to you. Since you mentioned about snow plowing and stuff like that, the new road, actually, I didn't even think about it. I actually like the idea of this subdivision, by the way, because that will give us another way to go around. I was going to say morons, but that would be inappropriate. That gets stuck right there. Okay.
It's a big place. People get stuck
Yeah.
right
Oh my
there.
gosh. I'm thinking, oh yeah, sign me up for that new road going in. No, we'll have a way around outside of Maple and then trying to go that route. Okay. So I digressed. But since you guys are new council members, you two specifically, there is somebody that always likes to raise their negative head and tell us what a horrible job we do as plow drivers. I ignore them completely. Because as far as I'm concerned, like you all are, you all give time, you all give service. And as far as I'm concerned, the snowplow drivers do as well. And somebody that did a perfect job the other day, by the way, was criticized for doing that by the normal person who doesn't want us to have lights, doesn't want us to have trucks, just complains about everything. So that's not a negative context, but I just wanted to let you know that he did a perfect job, and I ignore those kind of negative comments. And I even took pictures to prove it, that it was done perfectly. But that's just some of the things that you guys are gonna have to deal with, council members, is that no matter what, somebody could see a blue sky, one person could see a blue sky, another person would think that it's like, the worst day possible. I like to see things, whether there is a drop of water on a broken glass, to me, it's glass completely full. Okay, that's what I think of all of you and this wonderful city that we live in. And I'm just happy to be a part of it, doing what I can to somehow make it so we can move back and forth between up and down the hill. So any questions for me? We have a couple of new drivers, as I mentioned, they're doing a great job, but we don't have much snow yet, so.
Pray for snow.
Pray for snow, okay. Anything else, Mr. Mayor?
Everybody go wash your car.
Just make sure that your rain dance is approved by Sergeant Dutson first, please.
Okay. Good. I won't do anything inappropriate. Well, at least not this time.
Your snow dance.
All right.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to the department updates. So we'll move on to the community development, public works, fire department. With Ted, do you have anything?
Just quickly, a couple things. So this year we completed phases 1 and 2 of our road projects, 3 phases planned. Phase 3 we put out for bid, and we got bids on that about a week ago. So we'll be bringing those. They were good. We got good prices, better than we had planned for. So we're not quite ready to come to council with it yet. We're just waiting on a few things, checking, and then we'll be back to council to present those. But so we did have a bid opening for phase 3, and plan to do that probably next fall, later in the summer, fall. And then we're also working on some water planning right now, or some water line replacement projects over here. Anything else on public? Anybody questions on public works? That's really all I've got on public works.
Water. Come a little bit more explanation on water projects.
That's going to be in our neighborhoods.
So, we have about 5.5 miles.
Yeah.
5 miles of water lines.
Did you come up with funding is what I'm really asking.
The state Division of Drinking Water, who is one of the agencies we go through for funding, has put a moratorium on funding for 6 months. So we can't submit an application, but in that 6 months, we're gonna have to look at our water rates and to see what we can afford based on our water rates, or whether we're gonna have to present or propose a water rate increase to pay for the water line projects. Included with that will be road work. So where can we go to get some road funding? We're looking at some options with the state, with MAG and some of those things to pull in some funding to do these. I've completed, which will be presented here in the next few council meetings, kind of some financial analysis on water rates and the project costs and
Okay, so
some options.
that part of it. Okay,
So it'll be coming.
I was hoping you were gonna say that moratorium was lifted. That's really what I was hoping.
But when it does, I want to be prepared to go with an application.
Yeah.
Well, and we might want to remind our residents too that water projects have to be paid out of water budget that only comes out of water
Water
revenue
rates.
water rates that we collect. And so it can't come out of other pots of money that we pay for our property tax. It's only out of water.
It's an enterprise fund, so it has to pay for itself.
Yep.
So I'm working on a bunch of stuff there.
Okay.
That'll be coming up over the next few council meetings. On the fire side, we've been doing some reviews, as I've talked about several times. We've got our full-time wildland crew that we run seasonally, and they're off right now, although we are still available. So if there's something that comes up, they're available to go and respond on a fire. I've reviewed our revenues over the past 4 years since we've been running the program, and we've done reasonably well with the program. It's been in the 6 digits that we've made cleared. That's after all our expenses are paid. So we've had pretty good revenue from that. To keep the program going, though, we're going to have to start looking at replacing our old brush truck.
Here it is.
So here's the.
That's not on the agenda.
I'm preparing this for Jen. This is preparation.
I've been waiting for this.
Sink in for a
Versus
few minutes.
helicopter. No, hey, that's why you put the helicopter out there first, so that it
Makes the brush truck sound really good.
sounds really, yeah.
I know.
So we're looking at and running through some analysis to figure out how we can make that work, or if we can make it work, and do it through our wildland fire program. In other words, so that those that come from tax money, it's paid for by the city through our revenues. Because we've been doing pretty well with the program. With that, we're also looking at possibly from the fire department donating some money to the city to do some improvements, if they would like to. I've been talking with Chris about possibly, we've been looking at pickleball court. We've had some pretty good revenues. We might could throw some money at that and supplement some grant funding and stuff like that with some of this money that our wildland fire crews.
But only if you get your fire truck, right?
I get my fire truck. So
Carrot first.
Because you know I'm the one that wants the pickleball court.
Yeah.
Oh, I see
We know
how
that's
this
been we
goes.
know that's been a hot topic, and we've been doing reasonably well with this program. And if we can keep it running, I think we can keep generating some good revenues and doing some things like this, some positive returns for the city. So expect that over the next. In fact, the wildland kind of financial revenues and analysis with the brush truck will probably be coming next council meeting. So be prepared for that. Because we have to move on that if we're going to be doing that. So.
Okay.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Yep, that's all I've got.
Wayne, code enforcement. Do you have anything? No. All right. Then we'll move to number 11 does anybody have anything for an upcoming city council meeting agenda item? Well, if you think of anything, feel free to send them to Jody and myself, and we'll see if it makes sense to add it or not. Wonderful. Okay, does anybody need a break? We already kind of took one earlier.
We can just keep
We're
going.
good? Okay, then we'll call this city council meeting to order. And we will start with an invocation from Councilmember Malkovich, and then we'll do a pledge with Councilmember Hutchings.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we're grateful for the opportunity we have together as council members to discuss the business of our city. We're grateful that we had a number of citizens and residents who came to voice their opinions during the work session. We value their input, and we're grateful that we live in a community that cares. We're grateful for our mountain, and we do recognize that we are susceptible to the elements. We pray for snow. We pray for the moisture that is needed to help our city mitigate potential wildfires in the summer. We're grateful for opportunities we have to enhance our community and to respect and continue our quality of life. Please help us to work together in collaboration. We're grateful for those new council members who have put forth the effort to be here, to spend their time and resources in making our city better. Please bless us tonight as we discuss these issues, as we vote on issues that affect our city, that we can do so mindfully and respectfully. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please rise and join with me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to open the public comment. Again, if we can keep any public comment to, around 2 minutes, that would be great. Again, also, please state your name for the record. Is there anybody that would like to speak? Sherry.
I'll just say something really quickly. The lack of cold weather.
Sherry Berger.
Sherry Berger, yes. The lack of cold weather and the lack of precipitation. I've been talking to some people and I don't know if the sap is going to flow. Just to give you a heads up, maybe we're not making syrup this year. We'll have to see. So pray for cold weather too. How much precept do we need? It's not so much the precept, it's the temperature.
Yeah, the temperature has to go.
Right. Yeah. It just hasn't frozen at my house, but I have that weird. So just an update. I'm not sure. We're talking about it though.
Thank you.
The birds have been around, which is wild. I've been hearing the
I know.
birds. Yeah.
Well, go push those back down in the ground, please. Is there anybody else? Annie, you good?
Hey, I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anybody online? Yeah, then we will close the public comment and we will move over onto the consent agenda for number 16, the December 9th, 2025 City Council meeting minutes.
I move that we approve them.
I'll second it.
I really like the way that the formatting, especially with all your questioning and.
Did the change get made, Jody?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. We will move to, I'm so glad I don't have a vote. Good luck, you guys. Number 17, ordinance 2026-01, adopting a change in zoning for 350 South Woodland Hills Drive.
I'll make a motion to approve the change in zoning for 350 South Woodland Hills Drive.
Okay, do I have a second?
We're giving you two a chance.
I know. What a way to break us in. I'm deferring the chance. Thank you very much.
I'll second it. Just, we're only approving the zoning at this point. I just want to make that clear. That's all I'm seconding, not the whole subdivision.
Jody, is this a roll call as an ordinance? Okay. Councilmember Malkovich.
Yes.
Councilmember Johns.
Yes.
Councilmember Hutchings.
Yes.
Councilmember Roden.
Yes.
Councilmember Lunt.
Yes.
And that passes. Now we're going to get to all the really fun stuff that's dictated by state statute that we get to do every single year. Resolution 2026-1, appointing a city recorder, Jody Stones.
I'll move.
I'll second. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Dan's got it.
They want to jump in on
I will
Jody.
second.
I have a first by Councilmember Malkovich, a second by Councilmember Roden. Are these all, resolutions are all just not by roll call? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That passes. Resolution 2026-02, appointing a city treasurer, Lori Thomas.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Lunt and Councilmember John seconds that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you. Resolution 2026-03, appointing a city finance director, Chris Helby.
I'll make a motion.
Councilmember Hutchings,
I'll second that motion.
Councilmember Roden with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That passes. Thank you. Resolution 2026-04, appointing a community development director, Ted Mickelson.
I'll make a motion.
Councilmember Johns with the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Lunt with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That passes. Resolution 2026-05, appointing a zone enforcement officer, Wayne Franson. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Councilmember Roden with the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Johns with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion, any opposed? That motion passes. Resolution 2026-06, appointing a city emergency manager, Aaron Gilbert.
I'll motion.
Councilmember Malkovich,
I'll second it.
Councilmember Lunt, all in favor?
Aye. We need nicknames. It would be easier.
Well, it would. I'm just making sure I don't call any of you Kinnison. Thank you, though. Resolution 2026-07, appointing a fire chief, Ted Mickelson. Do I have a motion?
I'll take the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Roden with a motion, Councilmember Johns with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Resolution 2026-08, appointing a public information officer, Janet Lunt.
I'm gonna recuse my vote on this one.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Thank you both. Councilmember Malkovich with a motion, Councilmember Hutchings with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Resolution 2026-09, appointing an October 25 funding disbursements.
Approving. No, I was just saying approving.
Yeah, not appointing.
I'm on appointing.
You're on appointing, so
We're appointing the October funds for something.
I'll make a motion.
We're approving those. Thank you, Councilmember Lund. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Roden. All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Resolution 2026-10, appointing a city council member to serve as a liaison of the Finance Committee, also Janet Lunt. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Hutchings with a motion, Councilmember Johns with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Resolution 2026-11, appointing a city council member to serve as a liaison to Parks, Trails. They're all just you.
I'm just sitting here.
Parks, Trails, and
quietly.
Recreation Committee. Janet Lunt. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Councilmember Jones with a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Hutchings. All in favor?
Aye.
The motion?
Councilmember Jones.
Steve Jones.
Jody's having a hard time keeping up.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Resolution 2026, appointing a city council member to serve as liaison to the Planning Commission, Councilmember Brian Hutchings. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Councilmember Lunt with a motion, Councilmember Malkovich with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Resolution 2026-13, appointing a city council member to serve as the city representative to the Utah Valley Home Builders Association, Councilmember Steve Johns.
I'll second.
Councilmember Malkovich with a motion, Councilmember Broden with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Resolution 2026-14, appointing an individual to serve on the Central Utah 911 Service.
District Board.
Thank you. Doral Kinnison.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Any opposed?
Doral, are you opposed, Doral?
He doesn't get a vote. Thank you. Don't know why I lost it on that. Thank you.
Love you, Mayor.
Resolution 2026-15, appointing a city council member to serve as a liaison on the city council animal shelter board
Utah County.
of Utah County. Thank you. I'll get this. Councilwoman Carrie Malkovich, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Councilmember Lunt with the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Councilmember Hutchings with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you. Resolution 2026-16, appointing a city council member to serve as a liaison at the City Public Safety Committee. Councilmember Steve Johns. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Councilmember
second.
Hutchings. A second, Councilmember Malkovich. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you. Resolution 2026-17, appointing an individual to serve as a city liaison to the South Utah Valley Municipal Water Association Board. Councilmember Brian Hutchings. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Councilmember Lunt with the motion.
I'll second.
Councilmember Johns with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Resolution 2026-18, appointing Mayor Hilliard as the city representative for the SESD board. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Councilmember Roden with a motion, Councilmember Malkovich with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you. Resolution 2026-19, appointing Mayor Hilliard as the city representative for the Dry Creek Transfer Station Board. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Councilmember Johns,
I'll second it.
Councilmember Hutchings with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Resolution 2026-20, appointing a city council member to serve as liaison to the Community Development Committee. Councilmember Carrie Malkovich. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Councilmember Lunt with the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Johns.
It's a big job.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes.
No,
Thank you.
can I bring this up? It's business and discussion. We didn't have much discussion, obviously.
Of course.
For people who are appointed, what are terms and what are our responsibilities on maintaining those positions? Are they in for
A year.
ever? A year, okay.
And you're a liaison, you don't vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you
Just a
meet with
rep.
those committees, it's hard if there's not enough there because you feel like you want to vote, but
You don't
don't
run
vote.
it, their committee chair runs it, you sit in the back.
you just
That's
provide
kinda nice.
information and kind of make sure they do procedure and,
And sometimes you report. And sometimes
you
we have
report.
them report if it's big.
yeah.
Yeah, I never have to report for planning commission because Wayne always does it.
Yeah.
But you help them get things through that they want to get
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
Well, wonderful. Can I get a motion to maybe get the mayor a box of tissues? No, I'm just kidding. I do believe that it would make sense for us to go into closed session to bring up to speed our new council members concerning the current legal status of the city.
I'll make a motion, we go into closed session.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Hutchings and I have a second by Councilmember Malkovich. Councilmember Lunt,
Yes.
Councilmember Roden,
Yes.
Councilmember Hutchings.
Yes.
Councilmember Johns. Councilmember Malkovich.
Yes.
We are in closed session.
Not yet.
Oh, well, we will get to that point, but
Good.
okay, we are out of closed session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We are adjourned.
Yeah, it was another day in the office.